Hi everyone, and welcome to the Syncretism Society Virtual Academy. And my name is Mehmet. And today's lesson is Etymology, Connecting the Languages, Part 2. I've already done a Part 1 to this lesson. If you haven't already checked that out, feel free to do so. You can do that in the archives. The main words I concentrated on in the last episode was Aries, Taurus, the word of goat. What other ones did we do? I did 6 words. But yeah, sorry, I can't remember the other 3 words. But if you haven't already checked it out, feel free to do so. But you don't have to check out the previous one to understand this one anyway, because obviously each word is just an individual word. So quick reminder for those that haven't seen part 1 and want to know what etymology is. Etymology is the study of language and showing how different words connect and the root of all words, and seeing how certain syllables in different words connect but all have the same root meaning. So it's just connecting words from different languages. Another thing I just want to quickly say before I go into my presentation is I was told by the admin team that a couple of people asked why I didn't release back-to-back astrology lessons, because basically I do 2 videos a week. My Monday video is usually more about this kind of stuff, like the occult stuff, etymology, gematria, numerology, and more of the occult stuff. Whereas my lesson in the midweek, that is always purely based on astrology. So for those who are more interested in the astrological ones, they're during the week. But the ones that are interested in the occult stuff, that will be on Mondays and at the beginning of the week. So just to give you guys a bit of info on when to expect certain videos. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull my board forward and hopefully you can see it. So the first word I want to talk about, or name should I say, is Elon Musk. As many of us know, Elon Musk has supposedly sent a rover to Mars, but as we know in the Syncretism Society, Mars is not a physical place. Mars is just a light, a wandering star in our firmament, and just it has a particular frequency. It's just a light, basically. But what I want to do is look at the word Elon and look at the word Musk and how Elon connects to the word Mars as well. So the meaning of the word Elon in Hebrew is strength and force. And the meaning of, or what Musk is, a reddish scent that comes off a deer. So if people know about Mars, Mars is related to the color red. And for those that know about interchangeables in letters, I and A, E, I, O, and U are all interchangeable, and so are R and L. So if we was to change this E to an I and this L to an R, we could easily get I and Musk. And obviously we know that in alchemy and in the periodic table, the element of iron corresponds with Mars. So it's really interesting there that the word Elon also connects with the word Mars. And also for those who know about the book Project Mars, I think it was, is it Werner van Braun? Don't quote me, I think it's him that wrote the book in the 50s. He said that the person who will be leading the mission to Mars will be named Elon. So it's very ironic that they knew that back then, because obviously most things are planned. But moving on from that, what we're going to do is we're going to look at some words that derive or have interchangeables with the name Elon. So like I said, all the vowels are interchangeable, A, E, I, and U. So if we look at the word Alan, it's also another way to say Elon. And the meaning of the name Alan means noble or fair-haired in Celtic. And obviously, if someone's fair-haired, they have usually a reddish yellow kind of tint hair. And obviously, red again connects to iron and Mars. So moving on, in theology, we have Moses and Aaron. And when you correlate the planets to all the theological characters, they all correspond to particular planets. So especially in the Islamic culture, they correspond Abraham with Saturn, Moses with Jupiter, Aaron with Mars, Enoch with the sun, I've had a brain freeze. So Aaron, Enoch's son, Joseph with Venus, Jesus with Mercury, and Adam with the moon. So if we look at the word Aaron, and we interchange it with A and I, which is interchangeable, again, you get the word iron. And also the Muslim version of Aaron is Harun. And again, you see iron in Arun. Yeah, also here we can see the word iron, but the word for iron in Turkish is demir. And really funny, actually, because you can see the dem corresponds with Adam, and the IR at the end of demir corresponds with iron. So you can see there's just a different combination of parts of the words in different languages still make up the same word. And also, if you look at the word Aaron and spell it backwards, you get the word Nora, and Nora means light. And obviously we know that Mars is about fire and light. And also in the Muslim religion, when someone dies, they say, how we say, like, rest in peace. There is a saying where you say, Nuri içinde yatsın, which means to rest in light. So Nora and Nur have the same connection. Also, another word that connects with Mars is the word Irie, which means anger. And then from the word Irie, we get names like Irene. And funny enough, I once saw a picture of a supposed picture from Mars, and it had another picture next to it. And what the picture was showing is how they fake these pictures of Mars, where they go to different countries and just put a red tint on it and pretend it's Mars. But the country they actually did it in was in Ireland. And it's funny because, as you can see here, Irie or Aya means anger. So Ireland means the land of the angry people. And again, I'm not stereotyping, and I'm not saying all Irish people are angry, but I'd say that Irish people have a very Martian energy. They're quite direct people. And it makes sense because obviously, if you were to add an F onto the front of Ireland, it would be Fireland. So yeah, and also from Irie or Ireland, you get words like irate, irritated, which again connects with that fire. If you're irritated, it means you can't sit still. It's a very Martian energy. But also the word in Turkish for orange is turuncu. But if you look at here, you have the R-U-N, urun. Well, that connects with Aaron. And obviously, again, the Mars is to do with fire. So the three main colors to do with fire is orange, red, and yellow. So, but the word for turuncu in Turkish means orange, but you can see here it has aron in the word with the urun part. And then also, like we said with interchangeables, you can see how that connects to orange or orange, where you can interchange the O and the A, and then from orange you would get orange. So there's so many variations. I could go on and on and on. But just to move on quickly, so we'll go on to the next word. The word for fire in Welsh is tan, or atan or Adam. And then obviously we know in English, we go in the heat to get a suntan. So again, tan, you can see the connection with the words in different language. So moving on to my second word will be apple. And anything with BLE, like bull or pull, or pole, relates to not the female, the male phallic, because that's where you get the word like pole, fill, palace. So if we look at the word for apple in Welsh, is afal. And obviously we know that P and F are interchangeable, because from like P words, we have words like phone and phi, and like I mentioned, fill. So it's interesting they've used the F instead of the P, so afal. And like I said, phal connects to like the phallic, which is the ball, the hyperboloid in the center of the torus field. Yeah, so if we move on to the word apple in Turkish, it's elma. And that's almost, for me, an abbreviation for electromagnetism, elma. But then we know that the apple is to do with the male, hence the Adam's apple. So if we get the word elma in Turkish, it's an anagram for the word male in English. So that's really interesting. And also, again, with interchangeables, in Greek, the word for apple is milo. And again, you can see the interchangeables, the A and the I, and the O and the E, and it means the same word. And also in Italian, in Spanish, you got malum and manzana, and also you got the word malefic as well. So moving on to, I'm going to move this up because I have a light, so I've got good lighting and it always shines on the board. So I'm going to move to the word Saturn. So, or Satan, should I say? It's the same word anyway, as I'm going to show you. But yeah, if we look at the word Saturn, Satan, excuse me, yeah, it's the same word as Saturn, which is the seventh planet. But other names for Satan in other languages are Shaitan in Turkish and Satana in Greek. But obviously, we know through mythology and understanding astrology that Saturn is the ruler of time. And in Turkish, the way you say time is Sahat with an S-A-A-T. So that's very interesting that the word for time has the first part of the word Saturn or Satan. Moving on, for those who are aware of cannabis or who like cannabis or who study cannabis, we are aware that there are three types of strains. You have an indica, a sativa, and a hybrid. Well, sativas are what get you high, and indica is what gets you stoned. And you can see that in the etymology of both those words, because in sativa you have sat, which is like a satellite, Saturn, which is the furthest away. So it's talking about being high and being away from Earth. Whereas if you look at the word indica, or anything with the word Ka or Ka alludes to earth. So indica, which gets you stoned, has it in the word because of the word Ka, which is earth. Yeah, so then obviously, like I said, you get words like satellite from Satan and Saturn, Saturday, which is Saturn's day. I will do a separate show actually on all the days and the order and which planets they relate to. I'll do a separate show on that. But as we know in the Hebrew theology, Saturday is their most holy day, which they call the Sabbath. The Sabbath. And that connects to Saturday and Satan and Saturn. And that connects to the last day of the week. And also, as we know, Saturn connects to death, because he is, Saturn is the Grim Reaper, also in theology. So if we move, so how this connects with the next word, which is sabah, which means morning in Turkish. Like when we say good morning in English, we are talking about mourning as in you've mourned a death. And this is a spell that they use in, well, it's not the English language, I guess it's legalese, but good morning. If you're mourning something, it means you're mourning a death. So it's interesting that the Turkish word for morning is sabah, which is the same as the Sabbath, which is Saturn, which is about death. So I'm just showing you the connections of the different languages and different words and how they're all interchangeable. And also, if you get the word dead, you get the word lead, and lead is also the element ruling to corresponding with Saturn, because lead is very heavy. And then you get words like leader. Saturn is the ruler, he's the leader, the king in the crown chakra. And then you get words like ladder from leader, because obviously, like I said, Saturn is the furthest, he's the lord of the rings. So you need a ladder to get to the leader. So moving on, the next word I'm going to concentrate is on the word, let me try and bring this up. So, it's that light. It doesn't matter anyway, that's better. So the next word I'm going to concentrate is on the word Thursday. And Thursday comes from the Nordic of Thor's day. And as we know, Thor corresponds with Jupiter in the Norse mythology. And obviously, the part of the word Thor corresponds with the word of a Taurus field or Tor or touring. And also, when you look at the word Tor backwards, you get the word root. Root. So the word Tor or Thor is about turning. And funny enough, in German, the word for Thursday is Donnerstag. But obviously, we know in Turkish, you have a doner kebab. And a doner kebab is the kebab that turns. And doner in Turkish means turning as well. So you can see how doner means turning, and Thor means turning, and Tor means turning, and route means it means turning as in you're taking a route somewhere. So you can see that all these words are connected, although they're in different languages. And from DON words, we get words like donation, donate, donor, and these all relate to Thor and Jupiter, because we know that the archetype of Jupiter and Thor and Jesus is the jovial one, the moral one who helps people. So it makes sense that you would get words like donation and donate and donor, and even the word donut, which is the inverse of the hyperboloid. So again, like Santos says in all of his presentations and lessons about etymology, literally all is atom. Because with these words, you've got the don, which is add-on. And then moving on to the last word is the word Tuesday, which again comes from the Norse. Let me try and, there we go. It comes from the Norse of Tuesday. And then from the word tyr, we get words like tire and a tyrant and tyranny. Oh, and just to mention, Tuesday connects with the planet Mars. Tyr is Mars. Each day is correlates with a planet. So it's interesting that words like tyranny and tyrant correspond with Mars, because as we know, Mars is a fire of war and action and knives and sharp stuff. So it's very ironic that these words are all interchangeable. But the funny thing is, when we look at other words relating to Tuesday in other languages, we see a connection even through different languages. It's amazing. So the word for Tuesday in Turkish is the word salı, S-A-L-I. But also the word in Turkish to like attack is saldır. So again, you can see the S-A-L connection with Salı is Tuesday. Tuesday is Mars. Mars is about fighting, action, burning. And then we have the word in Turkish, saldır, which means to attack. But ironically, in English, the word Sally, which is the same as the word Salı, which means Tuesday, Sally in English means action, burst, or rush, which is all the energy of Mars. So it's crazy again, like two totally different words in two different languages mean exactly the same thing. And then we get from like Sally, we get words like salute, when you salute an army officer. And obviously we know the army and fighting is all to do with Martian energy. In the Vedic language, Mangalaya is the word for Mars. But ironically, in Turkish, the word mangal means fire. So again, you see the connection in different languages. So Mangalaya means Mars in Vedic, but in Turkish, mangal means fire. And like I mentioned earlier, P and F are interchangeable, and so is A, E, I, O, and U. So the word fire is actually the same word as pyro, because if you change the F and the P are interchangeable, the I and the Y are interchangeable, the R's stay the same, and the E and the O are interchangeable. So fire and pyro are exactly the same word. And then you look at the word pyramid. Well, the pyramid tetrahedron, which is in the Platonic solids, which is to do with fire, is a pyramid. And then you get words like pirate, which connect with ones up here of irate. And these top two both connect with Mars. So again, I'm just went through some words. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. If I haven't made anything clear, you can feel free to message me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And even if it's not to do with this lesson and you just want a message to say hi and ask any questions, feel free to do so and I'll get back with you straight away. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Peace, love and blessings. I'm out.